It's time for an update, and we have a lot of things to talk about because we haven't done one of these in several months, not since I moved. So if you're interested in what's going on with the channel or me, well, this is the video for you. And if you want your feedback taken seriously and you want some snippets into what's coming up in the future and all sorts of stuff like that, the best way to do that is to, well, obviously stay and watch this video. But if you don't want any of that, video isn't for you. But there will be some sneak peeks into things I'm working on. So let's get started with the first one. Where the heck is tagback? Well, I had kind of a family emergency. I posted this on Facebook, and if you want to keep up to date with what's going on with the channel, Facebook's going to be one of the best ways to do that. I don't like Facebook. I didn't want to use Facebook. Bobo talked me into it after over a year of pestering me. It took a long time for me to get acclimated to Facebook, but I basically built one just for the Walcom S7 channel, and thus, that's what it's for. And if something comes up and a video's not going to be there, if I'm thinking about doing an idea and I want some feedback or I want a sneak peek of stuff, Facebook's going to be the way to get a hold of me. But there was no tagback, and that's because, well, I lost my mom out of nowhere, wasn't expecting it, and 2 months ago I actually lost my dad to something completely unrelated in a freak accident, so family is suddenly shrunk quite a bit. I have my older brother and then of course my wife and all the pets and whatnot. Kinda sucks. I'm not going to talk about that too much, but that's why there wasn't any tag back. So what I'm going to do in return is I'm going to do a week of tag back. So what I'm planning on doing is when I'm going to record tag back, I'm going to shoot 2 or 3 episodes at the same time, which means I'm going to shoot an episode, go to the computer, offload the footage, shoot an episode, go to the computer, offload footage. And that is a really big spider. I hate spiders so much. That's why I hate this garage. It's better than the basement, though. Renting the basement room worked out for a good 6 months out of the 3 or 4 years I lived there. But, whatever. Anyway, we're gonna do a week of tag back. I might have some cameos in that. I might have some fun with it. I'm gonna try to make the episodes a little more entertaining than normal. I'm not gonna lax on them. I'm not gonna cut down on the... It might not be as crazy edited as some of the ones I've done in the past, but it's going to be a little bit better than the ones we've seen recently. A little bit more jokes, a little bit more fun, and things I really, really want to talk about. So, week of tag back, that's coming up. Get ready for that. And another thing I'm now deciding on doing is that I have a Discord channel. I've had a Discord channel for months, and it's really never been used. It came about because somebody was making a Discord chat for Nerf, and I joined, and it was fun, and then I kind of stopped using it, and then I went back, and there's somebody there who was insufferable, and I couldn't stand them, and unfortunately they never learned their lesson, and nobody else cared but me, so I left that one. And to kind of make penance for that, I realized that I loved streaming because I got to talk to a bunch of people, and that was always a lot of fun. You guys gave me a lot of laughs, you guys also gave me a lot of annoyances, but this is going to be a little bit better than, you know, anything else like streaming, because we shouldn't have random people jumping in and advertising and doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff like that, because let's face it, nobody's going to watch this video except for those of you who really care. So I will have a link, I'm going to put it right here, so if you don't watch this video all the way, you're not going to know, so it's a special little secret for you, but this is going to be the link to the Discord channel. There's a little bit of a hierarchy going on. It's just me, moderators, and you know, stuff like that. Nothing too extreme. There's, of course, places you can talk about whatever, places you can talk about just solely Nerf. There's a voice chat, and the best part about Discord is that all of this works through a web browser. You just literally make a name and you're done. Then you can make an account if you want to stick with that name specifically and that channel specifically. Then, of course, you can download an app on Android or iOS. There's a thing for PC that you can download that works really well. It's a great little program, and there is one for the Reddit Nerf, but it's really out of hand most of the time. I don't like it. It seems like the age rating's a bit low. None of the you pop in there, you talk to a couple of people, but I get message after message after message every single day from people. Hey, come voice chat with me. I'm 11 and I'm your biggest fan. It's really hard to deal with. So this will be hopefully a fun little experiment. If it doesn't work, I'll just burn down the Discord. Not a big deal. Lesson learned. Next up, after that, what do I have planned on in the future? Well, I just finished the biggest project I have ever done, but there's still some more that I have on the table before that. I did plan on finishing a whip messenger or 2. That's gonna be a little while. The reason why those haven't come to fruition is because that happened, I was working on those when my father, you know, I got the news my father was in the hospital. So it's kind of been hard to pick that project back up, and now it's, you know, buried underneath a bunch of stuff. It's kind of hard to get to at this point. I'm gonna try to finish it. I was a guide, but I'm probably gonna have to reshoot most of the work, which is a bummer. Oh well. Next up, we've got the crossbolt Magnus. So I had already had two crossbolts, or two Magnuses, to use for the Hellsender when I got the idea for it, but I had already cut one up too much for this. So if you notice, this crossbolt shell doesn't have any internals. If you notice right there, there's a big slot cut in it, and there's a crossbolt that I've already kind of cut up and done stuff to. You know, it's gonna go down here, basically. So we're gonna have an underbarreled crossbolt on this Magnus, and I'm gonna paint it up and be pretty. Then I'm gonna basically glue in the magazine, because I've made an internal magazine crossbolt by removing all the stuff back here and sanding it out. So that's going to be a fun thing. I'm also looking back and going to upgrade a couple of my projects. I've been working on the lever action rough cut. The problem with that thing was it seemed like really easy to prime in the video. I did, you know, once, flipped it around, shot it, but you really had to crank it for that last little bit to catch, because the angle the cutout was in was not optimal at all. It needed to be half as long and just a little bit more to the right. So it's been on the shelf. I've been meaning to get back to that, but unfortunately it fell off the shelf for absolutely no explained reason and broke the whole entire internal system, so I'll have to glue it together, and that'll come soon. I'm not sure if I'll do a video. It's going to be a while till I do a video on that, but I've been meaning to get that a little bit, you know, more firing of it and get it up and running. It does work. I can put it back together and it will work. I just have to DevCon some pieces together. This thing is going to get a little bit of a change. I saw a video a long time ago. It's a very, very good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of it. Of course, I would say that. But if you just remove the triple shot elite barrel, there's literally just a pipe up here, and that feeds into this air restrictor system. So you just remove the smart AR system and you put a single barrel. Well, that's getting a lot of air delivery to it, and this thing can hit insane levels of performance when it's singled. So I'm planning on doing that. I'm planning on converting this into like a single shot sniper, and then adding a grip that will go down here to make it more into a rifle, with this being, you know, kind of like an AR style pullback. That's going to be coming up, and I will do a video on that, but that means I have to sand and then try to paint some stuff again. Luckily, I still have all the paint that I used on this. So that's going to be happening, and then last, of course, I have the Acute Blaze, which nobody really remembers what I did with that thing, but that was two freaking, oh god, what do they call it? Acute Blaze Sharp Fires. That was the joke with the Acute Blaze, Acute Sharp Fire Blaze, you get it. So the Acute Blaze is going to be, I meant to do this when I was working on it, but it was going to be a little tiny pump action with, you know, two internal things. I'm going to buy some springs for that. Probably from Ace, because I live near an Ace now, thank goodness. I can get some really powerful springs for decently priced, and I don't have to wait for him to ship it to me. And the Acute Blaze can handle a lot of punishment, so I'm going to be upgrading the springs in that. I'm going to be upgrading the the bolt designs a little bit better, so they're easier to reload, and it's going to be a little tiny pump action shotgun that you can fit somewhere that hits some really good levels of performance. So that's what I have on my plate right now when it comes to modifications. Other than that, I've got some stuff laying around that I do want to get to. Like, I have these things, which are Tetra Strikes that Kyle sent me with the Power Strike. The problem is that they have issues. He's already modded them, and then on top of that, they have issues. This is one set of the internals, and what was wrong with this one was right here where I have this tubing fed in. There's supposed to be a U-bend and then a pump. Well, it was broken, and it snapped right off when I tried to fix it. So the tanks now hold pressure just fine. I just need to get rid of all of this hot glue. And I was thinking of just putting this back in the pistol shell, but I could do a lot better with something like this. So I'm planning on putting both of these together and making like a rough cut, an air-powered rough cut, but each one has its own little tank. And these tanks can hold a surprisingly high amount of pressure. So we'll see what happens with that. And honestly, if I come up with a different idea, like the guitar, I have to finish that. That will probably be the next major mod video you see. I've got it all taken apart because one of the plunger tubes on the Nightfinder side broke because they were not padded in any way. So that's been taken apart. I wanted to sand it and paint it anyway because it needed to match this beautiful blade. So I'm going to take it. I already took it apart. Clowny sent me more of the wrap stuff for the handle, and I have one Night Finder left, which was the one Bobo sent me, which I'm gonna have to sacrifice, unfortunately, which I don't want to do, but it's gonna have to happen because I have no other way of going about that. I don't have any Night Finders anymore for some reason. I killed all of them for parts for various projects. Oh well. So we do have some things down in the pipeline, and I just want to let you guys know, I mean, we're almost at 15,000 subscribers. We had a huge boost in there. I wish I understood how YouTube worked, because we had that massive boost. I was hitting 300 subs a day for a little while. I was getting 50, 60,000 views a day. It was absolute insanity, and things have leveled off to getting about 70 or 80 subscribers a day and about 20,000 views, which is perfectly fine, but I'm thinking I'm gonna try a little bit harder because I've seen that rapid growth right there, and I want to see if we can't keep going forward. As terms of a giveaway, I have not done a single giveaway yet, and the arbitrary hurdle that I placed in front of me has almost been broken. You will see a giveaway soon. I'm not going to give away specifics because it's kind of a weird thing that's going on with the giveaway, but you will see a giveaway soon. Once I pass the mark that I have set, we're going to have a good old time, and, you know, I'm going to give away some stuff, and should be a lot of fun. I'm not sure how exactly that's going to work right now, but you will see a giveaway soon, hopefully, unless, you know, things go completely south with the channel, which would be terrible. Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any, one more thing while I'm at it. I like these off-the-cuff videos. I don't have to edit a whole lot. I can just upload this, and people want to, you know, see what's going on with the channel. Of course, my channel is completely Nerf focused, and you knew this was going to come up, but a lot of people have been wanting a lot of different things. A lot of people have been wanting more Gunpla content. A lot of people have been wanting more gaming content. I don't know how I feel about the gaming content because everybody does gaming content on YouTube right now, and my streams pull in like 20 viewers every time I do it, so who exactly cares? But there's some fun to be had right there, and I'm thinking I might start doing some different videos. Like I've got a multi-tool that I just bought that is really cool, and I really like it, but I want to do a video on it, but how do I do a video on that kind of thing? So I'm thinking of diversifying content just a little bit. Of course, this channel will always be 100% Nerf focused. I'm not going to pull a coup on you guys. I'm not going to start taking brand deals. I'm not going to stop modding because I got a frickin' million subscribers and modding isn't worth my time when I can poop out a video in 20 minutes that gets 1 million views. Not going to be doing that stuff, you guys, anyway. That is my promise right here and now. So make sure you remember this update 6 video when that comes. So if I ever do break my promise, like Ego Rep did the whole, if I ever did a Let's Play, kill me, and now he does Game Grumps. So I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm going to stick to my word on this point. I do want to put out some varying content because I'm perfectly capable of putting out decent content daily. And while I do get an insane amount of hatred, holy crap, an insane amount of hatred, I love it. So I filtered a bunch of like the fat ass diabetes and all that kind of stuff, weight, chin. I literally had to filter chin. And I checked it today because a lot of comments like first and stuff like that gets filtered out, but some of those comments are like, this was my first blaster, and that doesn't need to be filtered out, so I go back in, but I went through it today. My god, the little 8-year-old keyboard warrior punks who sit behind their computer with some stupid Minecraft avatar that just sling venom wherever they can because they think it's, you know, gonna hurt me, and they don't realize I'm a 25-year-old man who went through high school in this size and yet didn't have a problem with pretty much anybody because he didn't, you know, it wasn't a problem. I'm huge. Nobody wants to fight a big guy because half the time fights end up on the ground and the big guy has an advantage. And on top of that, my weight is more centered than most. I'm not so much wide as I am, you know, the other direction, which is, you know, God hates me when it comes to the weights. So it's a little bit different. I'm not wide. I'm kind of cannonball shaped. There we go. But the amount of hate I get is ridiculous, and unfortunately, that might come to some problems with, you know, like the Discord chat and stuff like that. I'm hoping none of those assholes show up, which is why I'm going to have moderators, but even though I get some insane hatred, I get a lot of you guys that really appreciate what I do. I know there has been more than a couple of you that are big kids like me that have problems expressing yourself, and I was the same way. For the longest time, I didn't want to show my face on camera, even though I figure myself pretty expressive when it comes to, my face and whatnot. I didn't want to show myself because I knew whatever I did, there were going to be multiple people that discounted everything I've ever accomplished and done strictly because of how I look or how my weight is. Which is sad, and of course, that's exactly what happened. I called it months ago. Whatever. Screw those guys. They're never going to accomplish anything when it comes to harassing me. They're blocked in 2 clicks. Literally, you're wasting your time. 2 clicks, I can block you and everything you've ever posted on my channel and will post on my channel, and you won't even know it. You'll just be like, oh, come on, I'm not getting any responses from him. I'm calling him every name in the book, and you won't even have a clue. It's hilarious. YouTube is awesome like that. I also find it hilarious that just about every single time that happens, it's somebody who has multiple videos up and it's a failed channel. Or the exact opposite, it's a channel that has no subscriptions, no anything. Like, they have nothing on their channel. They just made a new account to harass me. My gosh. People are funny. They're sad, they're funny. I'm gonna try to do more content regularly. I mean, it's not like I'm working or anything right now. This is my job. Doesn't pay more than just the bills right now, but I have a feeling that if things keep going good, I'll be able to make a decent, provide for, what's going on in my life kind of deal. So, we're going to keep at it. I'm not going to let them get me down. They're never going to get me down in that way, that's for sure. If you're calling me any of a fat ass, it's not going to work on me, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm the one who usually makes the fat jokes, so it's going to be difficult for you to crack this shell. It's pretty tough. Thank you for listening to this rambling 16-minute long update video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'm a little entertaining. Of course, if you have any comments or suggestions, put them down in the comment boxes below. It's gonna be awesome. I hope. I really hope it's gonna be awesome. Or I'm just making huge mistakes. Either way, it's gonna be fun. You have yourself a wonderful time, and I hope to see you in a completely different video.